Hey guys, welcome back to Philip's Hot Rod Garage. Alright guys, so we got a lot to get done this week. We're back on the 1928 coupe again. We got a lot of work we're going to do on this car. We're going to get these pieces done, completely done, ready to prime. There's a few little odd and end things that's got to be done on these. I'm going to get back on the gas tank. I want to go ahead and fill that in where you put the fuel into the tank. And of course, we got to get the body back outside, get some sandblasting done on it. So we got welding, grinding, sandblasting, priming, sanding, tons of work to do. So don't go anywhere, we're about to get busy. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, so I got a few products in from Southern Polyurethanes. I got a gallon of their gray epoxy primer. Been doing a lot of sandblasting, been doing a lot of cleaning. I got a lot of bare metal pieces. It's time to go ahead and start priming this stuff so that I can keep it from rusting over while I'm working on the rest of the car. Also got a couple of their cleaners, their water-based metal prep and their solvent-based metal prep. Not really metal prep, just like a grease and wax remover, basically. So just a couple of their cleaners I got. So that stuff's gonna help me get this thing primed so it won't be rusting while I'm working on the rest of the car. All right, so more on this later. I don't need that stuff right now. I don't need this box right now. Show you that stuff later. I gotta have what's in that box so we can get started working. A whole bunch of parts in here for the Model A from Snyder's Antique Auto. Looking for a couple of things in particular here. I'll show you all this stuff later. Some good stuff. But right now, I needed these. This is what we're going to do first. All right, so on these two brackets that go down in the bottom of the A-pillars, there's bolt holes on each side for the door checks. This is where the little leather strap bolts down that holds the door from swinging open too far. So I got to have these bolt holes in place. Now, unfortunately on the passenger side, I've got one of these D-nuts that is completely rusted off and one of them is about halfway gone. So I was able to get some new ones from Snyder's. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the correct tools to put them in. So I'm going to get creative. I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to show you guys what I come up with. All right, so first I got to get the old one out. All right, I got it out. All right, guys, I brought you in close to see what's going on. The D-nut goes in the hole just like this. Now I got to hammer this lip over right here on the outside of this D-nut. It's got to round over, smash down flat against the metal here on this bracket. I believe I can get it started with a ball peen. I'm going to stick it in here. I'm going to stick the back side of the nut down onto my vise. I'm going to hammer it from this side, and hopefully it'll get started rounding that over, and then I'll just carefully hammer it around, massage it as I go to try to get that thing to fit tight down in there. All right, it's in there. Got a little tad bit of splitting around the edge, but that's fine. It won't hurt a thing. All right, got the second one out. It was a little bit better shape than the first one. I'm just being a little bit more gentle with it. See if I can get it in there without it splitting this time. Well, that's not gonna work. All right, I think they're gonna work. The first one I did split just a little bit. I don't think it's a big deal, so I'm just gonna leave it. I have more of them. I could come back and replace them again, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now let's take a look at how this thing goes together. Make sure it's gonna work out for me. This is the piece that screws on there. Get a screwdriver. Screws thread down into those nuts just like they're supposed to. Oh yeah. Tighten up good. There's what it looks like. All right, so there's where it goes. There'll be another piece like this on the door, and then a strap will connect the two, and that'll stop the door from opening too far. Oh yeah, wasn't too bad of a project. Now I can move on to something else. Well, we can't sandblast because it's raining again. No sandblasting today. All right, so let's cut the fuel filler neck off the gas tank. Go ahead and make a patch panel to go there. All right, so I noticed on Iron Trap Garage when Matt cut this out of the Sweetheart Roadster project he's doing that he had some kind of fancy hole cutter. I don't have one of them. There's no way to use a hole saw on this because there's nowhere for the hole saw to line up. So I'm just going to use my plasma cutter. Just going to go around it real quick and easy, real simple. And then I'm going to make a patch for it. Alright, so now I'm ready to start building my patch panel to go in here. Since I used the plasma cutter to cut this hole out with, it's not perfectly round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay a piece of metal up under here. I'm going to trace it out so I can get that metal ground down to exactly the right shape. Now, in order to get it relocated in the right spot when I take it in and out, I'm going to put an index mark on it so I'll know exactly how to orient that panel. And I think that'll work out good. Anyway, that's the plan. So let's get started. All All right, I gotta have a piece of metal. I don't see anything in there. That's all too thick. What about up in this old 32 Chevy here? I've been throwing all my scrap pieces in this old 32 Chevrolet. Hold things upside down. It's a pretty good spot to keep stuff. I'm gonna use that dash as a wall hanger like we talked about. I don't want to cut that up. But there's some other pieces I cut out of the bottom of the tank that might work if I can find them. Old cow side. Hey, there we go. There we go. Wonder if that's big enough. Kind of curved. I don't know if that'll work. Yeah. How about that piece of the old tank will work? Yeah, not bad for an old scrap metal bin. Old 32 Chevy. All right, so we got to clean off a spot. All right, that area should be big enough. Grind that off. That ought to work. All right, so I got it rough cut with the grinder. Actually, no, sorry. All right, I got this thing rough cut with a plasma cutter. I can still see my marker line real well. So I'm gonna use these to try to cut it up real close to the line. I might get it close enough it'll fit, but I'll probably end up having to take the grinder and just dress it off a little bit. All right, that's about as close as I'm gonna get it. All right, so I ground this thing off perfectly up to the marker line. That should make it fit perfect the first time. So I'm gonna take this little magnetic parts tray. Just needs something to help hold it up in there. We'll stick it in from the bottom. So I have something magnetic to hold this in. We're gonna give it a try. It wants to go. I think that's it. I think it's perfect. Check it out. It looks good. Gap looks real good all the way around. I can TIG weld that one no problem. So it's time to get to welding. All right, so I got it tacked in with the TIG. And what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and hammering and dollying on those welds, because as you weld, it shrinks. So to keep all this area from warping, I'm weld a little bit, hammer a little bit, and as of right now, there's no warpage in here. This panel feels great. So hopefully I can offset all that warping by welding a little bit, hammering, weld a little bit, hammering, until I get it done. But that panel fits nicely. Fits down in there real good. It's gonna look real good if I can just keep it from warping. Well, guys, I don't have a planishing hammer, and I don't have some of that fancy equipment like some of the guys have. But I tell you what, growing up, my daddy was a body man. I grew up in the body shop. I work in a body shop every day. You don't have to have the best equipment to do this stuff. Just got to get out there and make it happen. Learn what to do. And get after it. Don't be afraid of it. I got it looking pretty good. Pretty proud of that. So we'll go ahead and DA that down. I think it'll look good. There you go. I think the tank looks a lot better filled in. So Got rid of that. Oh yeah, looks good. It even looks pretty fair on the backside. And of course, you know I had to stick it back on the car, see how it's gonna look. I like it. So yeah, I struggled with that for a while. I didn't know if I wanted to leave it or if I wanted to shave that off. I think I made the right decision to get rid of it. I like it a whole lot better. But guys, I hope you had a great 4th of July. I didn't post a video last week. I spent a little bit of time with the family. We had a busy week. We enjoyed a little bit of this. And we enjoyed some of this. So yeah, I took off a little bit last week, spent some time with the family. We had a good time. We enjoyed the fireworks. We enjoyed our time at the beach. The kids had a blast. But you know, it's good to be back in the shop this week on the Model A. We're making progress. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We're close to being able to put some primer on some of this stuff. We didn't make it to sandblasting this week, unfortunately. Still a lot of rain every day. It's raining outside right now. So we're waiting on some sunny days. We're gonna get back on the sandblasting. In the meantime, I'm just gonna stick with this metal fabrication until we get it done. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We finally hit 700 subscribers on the channel. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're still watching the video this far into it and you've not subscribed yet, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up. Share this with your friends. Tell all your friends that I'm building the rustiest Model A that you've ever seen. And I'll see you in the next one.